Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and for now, I have you another video in my lovely quick tip series. So, this one is going to be talking about Terran vs Zerg, again from the Terran perspective, because they are the master race, and I'm not an anti-humanity human who wants to show his hate for the human race by playing like some bug alien-esque kind of creatures. You know, I'm going to rep the good guys. I'm going to rep the humans. So, yeah, play Terran. You can sleep at night. Okay, so back to what I'm going to be doing. Picture the scene. You are on a standard... You're in a standard Terran versus Zerg match. Here you have your base. You have your expansion. You have idle SCVs. You're forever bronze. You've got a lot of frickin' unit producing structures. That's good. Now you're preparing for an engage. You've got a lovely mix, standard anti-Zerg mix. You got those Marines, you got some tanks, and you got some medivacs. You're not good enough to use ghosts yet, so we'll save those for a later video. And what are you against? Another standard Zerg force. We got some links here. We got some banelings. Boom. And somewhere we've got some muters. And obviously, I think the Terran could probably take this force fairly easily, but we're going to see this Zerg force mass up a little bit more. And we're going to be talking about how you can do this engage as a Terran. If you've been watching a lot of the... Whoa! Slow down, Marines. Let's just have a bit of time to think. So, if you've been watching some of the pro games, you can see this executed a lot better than I'm going to try and show you now. This is set up, so... This isn't an actual one of my games. If it was one of my games, I wouldn't be floating 5,000 minerals, I promise. So, what we're going to try and do here is demonstrate unit control with the Marines and the tanks. Probably going to ignore the medivacs for the moment. They're going to stay out of the way. I'm sure I don't use them properly anyway. But if you watch some of the pro games, definitely watch some DreamHack games. Watch some of the GSL games. So you want players like Happy, players like I'm MVP. They will show you some great games. Any game with Hydra against the Terran is usually a good watch as well. So, what the Zerg wants to do is he wants to roll in. He wants his banelings to hit your Marines. He wants the Zerglings to surround the Marines, to cuddle them nice and tight so the banelings can kill them. And then, once they're all dead, the muters are free then to pick off all the tanks. And as a Terran player, you don't want that to happen. So, I'm just going to give everyone epilepsy by moving around. So, as a Terran player, what you want to do is siege your tanks with quite a decent spread. I mean, I've not chosen maybe the best place to engage. I'm in a bit of a choke, which could work well by funneling the Zerg units in, but this demonstration might work a little bit better in a more open section of the map, but you're going to have to bear with it. So, the first thing I've done is stagger my tanks, which is very important. So, the Zerglings and banelings are without a doubt going to overrun, you know, the first few layers of tanks. But if you have them all at one point, like if we ignore these... I keep pointing at my screen. If we ignore these down here, and let's just pretend we've only got these tanks, as soon as the Zerglings got to here, all the tanks wouldn't be able to shoot, because they're such close range. Because siege tanks actually can only, once they're siege, can only shoot, you know, past a certain range. So once the Zerglings get this around, they'd all go down pretty much instantly. So it's key to stagger them. So once the Zerglings are here, these tanks are shooting. Once the Zerglings are there killing these tanks are shooting. And it goes on. So hopefully, once you've gone through all your layers of inception of tanks, tank inception, you want all this shit dead. So the Zerg's going to move in pretty much everything at once, in one big mass scary wave. I do really, really urge you to watch some of the programs, because it is incredible to watch the control from both the Zerg and the Terran player. So, I'm moving forward. Scare these muters away. I'm going to go for a scan, pick up any creep tubers. So now, they're coming in now, so I'm going to run away. I've stimmed. And I'm going to pause. I'm going to back it up. And I'm going to do it in slower speed, because that was actually quite hard to follow. So, normal. Let's go again. So, the Marines are going to move forward, push these muters away. Because it's best to attack the Zerg off creeps. I'm in a good position. I'm going to see the Lings and the Banes are moving in, so I'm going to stim, run away. These tanks, you can actually use to focus the banelings. So the tanks are taking out the banelings now. The Marines have got all the way out of the back, away from the Banelings. The Banelings are all wasted on the tanks. Pretty much all the tanks are down, but that just leaves a few mooters for these Marines to pick off. Good. Okay, so both players, the Zerg and the Terran player, could have done things better in that engagement. The Zerg could have maybe not exploded these Banelings on the tanks. If you had the Zerglings and the Banelings in separate control groups, you could have surrounded the tanks with the Zerglings and then tried to get the Banelings to the back with the Marines. But I did do the right thing. As you can see here, the Marines have stimmed and run away, so the Zerglings have struggled to get us around on the Marines. The tanks are going to go down very quickly. The Mutas are at the back. Pauses again. So these Marines are getting all the way out of the way. Not even lost that many. The Mutas are trying to pick off the tanks with the Marines that close. It's difficult to. So the Zergling numbers are very low now. I think it started off the engagement with, I think it pretty much was over 100 actually. So they've diminished very, very rapidly. All the Banelings are going to be taken out by these tanks who, you know, as you can see there, they've got a lot of kills. So they've been doing a lot of damage. All those are going to go down that. Those Banelings definitely could have gone and tried to take the Marines out, but to be honest, with all those mini-backs healing, and they are quite far to the back, I think they would have been alright. So the tanks have played their role, because the tanks are the crucial unit in the TvZ matchup in this situation. And it just leaves the Marines to stim and take out these Mutas easy peasy. So there we go. That's it for that. It's very short. Practice it a few times. Get a buddy, get a friend to go through that with you. Obviously, it is best to try it in proper games. It's a bit more realistic. But you want to go for spreading your tanks out. Don't siege them all in one place. As soon as you see the Zerg push forward, stim your Marines and run behind your tanks, because you're just going to get absolutely bummed by all the Banelings. If the Banelings connect with the Marines would all be dead, and then the tanks would just be picked off by the Mutas. So, that's it for this one. Very short, very nice. So hopefully that was of some help to some of you lower players. I think some Zergs could even learn a little bit from this as well, about unit control. So obviously this Ling Baneling Muta is a great competition against Terran. You can harass with the Mutas. Baneling drops, so juicy, so juicy. And lots of general good harass with these Zerglings. So this kind of engagement is very, very common in Terran versus Zerg. So I think practice it a few times. Remember the tank spread. Remember to get your Marines to the back, and you will be groovy. So thanks for this. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I want to try and get. I think I'd be content if I had 20 is a good number of subscribers, but I think I don't know all of them, so I'm not a complete loser. But it's all good. It's all good. One day I will be internet famous. Okay, so the next video is going to be. I think it might be more tanks in Terran versus Zerg, but it also might be hotkeys. Hotkeys is a good one. I think I might be doing that one next. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Bye. No. Way too feminine. Goodbye.